Before I get this video started, I'd like to give a special thank you to the guys down at Subaru of Corvallis for allowing me to come down and review the 2019 Subaru Ascent. If you are interested in the Ascent or any of the other fantastic Subaru models, be sure to reach out to them and they'll be more than happy to get you into your new ride. The contact information to the dealership will be in the description box below.
What's going on? This is Big G from G Riders and welcome to another episode of Test Your Rides. Today I'm going to be testing out the 2019 Subaru Ascent. Welcome to the 2019 Subaru Ascent. Introduced for the 2019 model year, this is a long, ridiculously overdue replacement to the Subaru Tribeca, or Tribeca B9, whatever they call it, which was, lack of better terms, was a huge flop. But Subaru has came back with some heat for the family crossover market. So the 2019 Subaru Ascent is based on basically a stretched version of the Subaru Outback's platform. So what that means, it's going to look a lot like the Outback, it's going to drive just like the Outback, but just a little bit bigger because of course it is a family crossover.
The Subaru Ascent starts out at about $33,000, and for that price there is a variety of standard equipment that comes on this car. Some of the standout standard features is the Subaru eyesight system is now standard on the Ascent, and Subaru is going to be adding that on most of their 2019 models as standard equipment. If you're not familiar with the eyesight system adds frontal collision warning, automatic braking, lane keep assist, and adaptive cruise control. Also standard on this vehicle would be, the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is kind of nice. And also the normal standard features like most cars have, like automatic climate control, and this car does have a third row because this is a 7 or 8 seater family crossover.
So the model of the 2019 Subaru Ascent I have here behind me is the 2019 Subaru Ascent Premium, and this one and all of the Subaru Ascents come standard with a turbocharged flat 4, classic Subaru Boxer engine with 260 horsepower and 277 foot-pounds of torque. And because this is a family crossover, this car does weigh about 4,500 pounds, which is average in the market. Due to the way the CVT transmission and everything that Subaru has done on this vehicle, this gets a decent 21 in the city and 27, 28-ish out on the highway, which is, again, average for the segment. I would have liked him to kind of stretch up to 30 miles to the gallon, but a little bit more engineering has to happen to get to that level, but 28 on the highway is not bad at all.
So the Premium, it starts at about $35,000, and it comes with a couple more standard features on it and just some overall nicer stuff on it. But the package that this one has on it, this one has basically almost a loaded up package, and this has the 7-passenger sporty package, which not sure that's why I call it the sporty package, but I guess we'll just go with it. So this one has the captain's chairs, and in this package comes with the power liftgate, keyless access with push button starter, the auto dimming review mirror, the reverse automatic braking system, 20-inch wheels, the panoramic sunroof, which is definitely a necessity for this vehicle. And this comes with the 8-inch infotainment screen with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto plus navigation on that. And also comes with the cargo cover area. So with the 7-passenger sporty package on the vehicle, that brings the total up to about just over $40,000 for this vehicle. Once again, when you're looking at family crossovers with this similar amount of equipment, that's about average for the market. Which is nice that Subaru priced this vehicle kind of just right in there with the rest of its competition. Like, I know that they probably didn't want to really try to beat their competition just because that could have taken some brand value out of Subaru as a brand themselves, but it's right in there with the rest of everybody else.
Welcome to the 2019 interior of the Subaru Ascent. When you look around the interior of the Subaru Ascent, it seems very Subaru, which is very good quality, very, very useful, and it's just like nothing in here that's cheesier. There's nothing cheesy or tacky about this interior except for this kind of like white tannish carbon fiber looking material. I mean, come on, Subaru. Like, I'd rather just seeing just some flat white interior, but it's okay. It's fine. I'll give it a pass because the rest of the interior is so nice. Like, you know, you guys know I'm a big dude. I'm over 6 feet tall and over 350 pounds, and I sit in here comfortably. This is one of the other few cars that I have to sit the seat up a little bit from not being far in the back. So, you know, just looking around the interior, up here where I rest my arm to drive, it's nice and soft. I love the design of the new steering wheel. It has a lot of buttons on it, but once you get used to it, it just becomes very easy. So the cruise control, the distance control for your cruise control, and then you got your volume, your tuning knob, and then your source, and then your voice control there, and then you have the controls for your little menu right here behind the steering wheel, and also gives you the speed limit on the road that you're on, and also gives you a physical speed, which I really like. And also, if you look here in the instrument cluster there, I step on the brakes, it shows the brake lights in there like one of those classic like little school bus type of things. They should have did the shifters too. I mean, not shift. They should have did the indicator lights too. I think that'd have been kind of awesome. This car has nice big door pockets here on the doors and down below. Center console is huge. You could put a lot of stuff in there, which is great. All right, let's put you guys over here so you can see what I'm talking about. I love the big screen setup here. It's pretty simple. You got 2 knobs and only 6-7 buttons or so, which is nice. I hate when infotainments have too many buttons, and I'm glad Subaru hasn't rolled out the knobs. I like this little space down here for your phone. You can just put your phone there while you got to plug it or charge it. You got 2 USBs there, and you also have an aux port, which is nice. And then you have your X mode for your all-wheel drive system for downhill ascent control, all that stuff, which is pretty nice. This car does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is definitely a plus. I'm very glad Subaru got on that train because, to be honest, the infotainment system in Subarus here is not great. It's a little fidgety, but it's all right. I'll give it a pass because it has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and that's really all that you need. I mean, you see, I just try to press the buttons there, and it was a little hesitant to respond, but it's all right. Moving on. The seats in this car are quite comfortable. I like the design over it. It looks pretty nice. Like, it's just your average cloth, but I like kind of the blue stitching that they did. I like the blue stitching that they did here in the vehicle. It's pretty nice. It looks pretty good. Cup holders are nice and big. Fit large drinks, large coffee in there pretty simply. And just up in the front here, in the front of the cabin of the Subaru Ascent, it's just a very functional, really comfortable interior that is easy to figure out if you've owned a Subaru or even if you haven't owned a Subaru. It's just a nice laid out interior that looks good and feels quality. All right, let's take a look at the back seat. All right, welcome to the back seat of the Subaru Ascent. And right now I am sat behind myself and I am decently comfortable. Like, I'm not the most comfortable ever, but it's pretty good. Like, it's nice space under the seats to put my feet. Like, the car sits up, you sit up a little bit higher than the driver's seat, which is kind of nice, kind of like the stadium seating style. This one does have the captain's chairs, but you can get a bench, of course, it's standard, but these are an optional extra, which is nice. I love the captain's chairs. If I was going to get a family SUV, I think I would get the captain's chairs just because I feel like that's more comfortable for everybody. The seats do recline. The seats do lean back pretty nice. There are 2 USB ports back here in the back, and also you can adjust your own climate control in the back. You got these nice cup holders over here on the door, and you got that same kind of like fake white carbon fiber look here on the side, which is fine. You know, like I said, I'm gonna give them a pass on that. It's not that big of a deal. It actually does look nice. I'm not gonna lie, it does look nice, but you know, got vents and everything that you'll need for a family crossover. So now let's go ahead and hop in the third row, see how that is. Here I am in the third row, and I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed. It's not very spacious back here. It's not very spacious back here for an adult like the Atlas is, but there's also 2 USBs back here, which is nice for your backseat passengers to charge their phones. And then you also have little mounts for cargo, and then your cargo covers and all that stuff back here. So not as roomy as something like the Atlas in the third row. I think this whole stadium seating, like under there, as you can see here, they do have the stadium seating back here. And I think it was kind of a mistake. It's kind of nice that you can see over, but it also makes it, if you want to ever put adults back here, it's not going to work because you guys know I'm a big dude and I don't fit back here well. But if you're putting kids back here, this is going to be just fine. All right, let's take a look at the trunk area. All right, let's take a look at the back here. All right, so this is the back, and I really like these little mats here to protect your whole entire cargo area. If you're putting a dog or something back here. It's pretty nice. All right, let's go ahead and fold these down. And if you do not need the cargo space, there's lots of room back here. As you can see. All right, let's look what's under the bottom there. Oh, that is a nice design. So underneath the bottom here is somewhere where you can store your cargo cover, which is nice. That's definitely a very good asset of a family SUV. Because the one thing that is always annoying is having to take your cargo cover out of the vehicle when you need to put people back there. And it's pretty nice that you can just store it underneath here. But I'll go ahead and put the official number of the amount of cargo that's back here. Boom. Definitely a lot. Definitely like still at the top of the class as terms of family SUVs. All right, welcome to the 2019 Subaru Ascent driving portion. So let's start here with a nice little pull from this stop sign. Up to just the 25 though. Wow. The first thing to notice is this turbocharged engine was a very good idea for Subaru to put something like this in their family SUV. Because like honestly, when I first heard about this car coming out, I was a little afraid that they were going to just put their naturally aspirated 2.5 liter that's, I mean, to lack of better words, kind of a dog, in a 4,500 pound SUV. It seems like what the torque curve is right where it needs to be. All right. All right. Let's go for a little rip here. This thing's quick. And one thing that I'm really liking so far, just before I start talking about how it drives, is how the CVT kind of acts like a transmission when you're using the paddle shifters. I know that's one thing that the biggest problem about Subarus nowadays is the simple fact if you get an automatic, you're getting a CVT, but it's so nice to see them do something to kind of emulate a transmission. Like when it downshifts, let's downshift a couple gears or fake gears. You see that? And this thing pulls pretty good with the 277 foot-pounds of torque. That's definitely respectable for an SUV of this size. And what's nice that it's turbocharged and not a V6, simple fact that because it's turbocharged, the torque feels a little bit more accessible, which is really nice. All right, so how does the Subaru drive? Honestly, the Subaru drives excellent. Like, it's quiet, it's smooth, the steering feels pretty good for a family SUV. Like, this is not a sports car, so it doesn't need to have super responsive steering or nothing like that, but it's definitely good steering feel for the type of vehicle that this is. I wouldn't say it's like the best. I mean, the best of of the family SUV for steering wise would be something like the CX-9, but you know, Mazdas are, you know, traditionally sporty. Subaru didn't build this car to be sporty. Subaru built this car to be functional. And the simple fact, it's so comfortable. Like, you guys know I'm a big dude. I'm over 6 feet tall and over 350 pounds. And this car kind of swallows me up, kind of in the same manner that something like the Ford Explorer does, which is definitely a very good asset for a vehicle to have. Like, I know most people aren't my size, but this is definitely probably one of the bigger family crossover SUVs. It's kind of probably about the size of like behind the wheel and spatial wise and everything of something like doing normal driving in this vehicle, just going around some curves here. The Subaru has a very commanding view of the road. I can see out of all the windows and everything pretty well. Subaru always does a good job of giving you great visibility when trying to sell you a vehicle, whether that is, you know, something like WRX or STI, or all the way up to something like this size. Like, I can look all around the car and there is not too many blind spots, and it also has the blind spot monitoring as a fail-safe, of course. But because this vehicle is, you know, kind of like a Subaru Outback that's a 7-seater, it feels exactly like that. Like, if you've driven an Outback, if you own an Outback and you kind of need some extra space, this is the perfect car for you, because this drives just like an Outback, but only a little bit bigger and a little bit more powerful from the kind of the standard base level of cars. So right now I'm gonna do a little U-turn here and see how that does. Pretty good, I must admit. Like, let's do 2 here. That's very good considering that this is a big family SUV.
The 2019 Subaru Ascent is overall a good vehicle. It's comfortable to drive, it's easy to see out of. It gets decent fuel economy. It has decent power and torque. It feels solid and safe on the road. Has the eyesight system standard, and it just feels like a well-built, solid car. And you know what? There's a couple things I didn't like about it. I think that the back seat could have been the back seat space could be a little bit more, but you know, that's just one of the small gripes I have with this vehicle. I mean, there's not too many bad things on this car. I feel like it's a well-built, solid. Honestly, I think it looks great for the function of the vehicle. And you know, Subaru, you could tell Subaru definitely did plenty of research on this market and what people want in this class. Subaru was able to deliver a very good overall package to the 7-seater family crossover market. And the one thing that I do like about it, it drives and it handles just like other Subarus. So if you've driven or own a Subaru currently, this is going to be a great next step if you need more space for family or for whatever needs that you may need. So if you are looking for a comfortable, functional, decent fuel economy, decent powered, and pretty good value for the money 7-seater family crossover, you definitely should go into your local Subaru store and take a look at a 2019 Subaru Ascent. And if you've liked this video, hit me with a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and keep riding with me. Thanks for watching.